No? All right.
Professor, we're missing a group name today, right? We don't have your last name.
That's, I got it. All right. What are we doing today? Welcome back. How was it practical? Hard? Yeah?
I mean, I think it's pretty hard.
All right, I gotta find out how you did comparatively.
Are those be graded tonight?
Yeah.
What?
Are those be graded tonight?
I don't be graded for the next, like, once class is over, we graded in an hour. So.
How about we just grade them?
Yeah. We got a lot to do. We got an hour, what, hour 20? Let's do that first. Okay, so what are we doing? We are starting on the different muscles of the body. Just like we did when we went over bones, we went over histology, then we went over bones. We did histology of muscles, now we're doing naming individual muscles of the body. Starting with the axial muscles. We start with the axial muscles. Axial muscles, which are muscles in the skull or along your central axis, your vertebral column. And then we'll get to appendicular. We're not going to go over every muscle in the body. There's a lot. We're not. We went over every single bone. We're not going over every single muscle. So just the ones I discussed, the ones that are listed on the slide that you hopefully all got, those are the ones you need to know. I'm not gonna require that you know origins and insertions, but it will be very helpful for you to know. It's useful when you remember that. I want you to know where the muscles are, what they're called, and what they do. I do care about actions. I want you to know what they do. Okay. Any questions on what it is we're doing? There's a lab check. Is it 6 or 7? There's a lab check that's due next week, but part 1 of it will be due next time, Wednesday. So I'll get to that when we get to it.
Is it not a regular one?
It's not a regular one. Okay, so when we say axial muscles, we're talking about muscles for facial expression. So we'll go muscles over the face, muscles for chewing, mastication is a fancy word for chewing, for posture, and for breathing. We're not going over things like pelvic floor muscles. We're not going over all the muscles of the neck, because there's a lot. We're just not going to have time. We'll identify them on the cadaver and on these models. So hopefully we'll have some time to at least look at the cadaver. Okay. So, face muscles. What's going on here? They're not torturing this dude. They're actually stimulating him with electricity. This is a study to see when you stimulate certain muscles, what facial expressions do you make? If you just look at his eyes, what kind of emotion would you put to that?
Worried.
Worried? How about there? Surprise. Cool, yeah. Say worried, a mix of worried and surprise. Because there's a stimulation right here. There's this muscle here, which makes you look like surprise. There's this muscle right above your eyebrows. Makes you look like you're worried. I think it'll be easier for you to remember all these different muscles if you can associate with what they do. Associate them with what they do. In general, again, what do I mean by axial muscles? We're talking about head and neck, vertebral column, thoracic cage, abdominal pelvic walls. But there's a bunch that we're not going over. We're focusing on these. Muscles for facial expression, chewing and swallowing, posture, and breathing. It's also not a perfect categorization because like there are muscles that you use for posture, but there are also muscles that are used for posture, but they're also used for your appendicular muscles, for moving your arms or legs. So you're going to see some overlap. It's not a perfect categorization. But most of the ones that you see listed here, we're going over most of them. Not all of them, we're going over most of them. All right, getting right to it. Muscles on your head. So you have a muscle on your frontal. You have a muscle at the front of your frontal bone, the anterior side of your frontal bone. This is your frontalis. Frontalis is right here. If you contract your frontalis, it raises your eyebrows and wrinkles your forehead. Contract the frontalis, raises your eyebrows and wrinkles your forehead. So frontalis, pretty straightforward name. It's named after the bone it's on top of. Location. Also, I should note that we can talk about origins and insertions that they attach to bone. These actually attach to skin. Well, they insert into skin. They might be attached to bone on one end, but they insert the skin, they pull the skin. That's why you can move your face around. So frontalis raises your eyebrows, wrinkles your forehead. Your frontalis is connected. Does anyone remember the term when you have connect muscle to muscle? It's not a tendon, not a ligament. Aponeurosis. There's an epicranial aponeurosis from here, frontalis, to the back, to the occipitalis. So here's the occipitalis. Frontalis, occipitalis. I'm not very good at contracting this. It helps you move your scalp back, help you unfurrow your brow. If you do it hard enough, if you have a strong enough occipitalis, you can kind of make your ear wiggle. I can't do very well. Occipitalis. Frontalis on the frontal bone, occipitalis on the occipital bone. Straightforward so far? All right, this one's fun. It's not showing very well, I just realized. You ever seen like those Rottweilers with little eyebrow things, the eyebrow color? There's a muscle right there, like right where the color is. So it's not all the way around here. It's not what's shown here. This is a different muscle. It's just right here. You've all seen cardboard, I hope. What do you call this type of cardboard?
Corrugated.
It's corrugated. This cardboard is corrugated. It's got that wavy texture. This muscle to help you like wrinkle your eyebrows, to give you that worried look that we saw before. It's called the corrugator supercilii. Supercilia, because corrugated is this kind of wiggly shape. Wiggly right here. And you contract it. Brings it in like that. What does super mean besides awesome? Above, what does cilia mean? We've seen that word on the cellular level. Yeah. It's a corrugated muscle that's above the hair, below your eyebrow. Corrugated supercilia. It's better shown on this model. So you can see like there's a muscle that goes around your eye, but I'm talking about this one above it. Corrugated supercilia. If you want to close your eyes, like really close them or wink them, you have muscle all the way around your eye. The word for around is orbicularis, like an orbit, and oculi is for eye. It's around the eye. Orbicularis oculi. Why do you only? Yeah, why do you always close this way but not this way? The muscles just aren't shaped or arranged that way. That's not how it's arranged. So you can see that really like the arrangement of the fascicles. The arrangement of the fascicles are kind of horizontal. So when they contract, they're just getting smaller this way. If it was rotated, then it would close the other way. Yes. Why is it when we blink both eyes shut? That's a great question. Anyone want to guess? We haven't gotten to this yet, but we guess. How are they connected? What controls them?
Brain.
The brain via, and then like in between the brain and the eyes? A nerve. A nerve will split and control both eyes. So if you close one, the other is going to close two. Like as a reflex.
If you wink your left eye, does that mean your brain doesn't know what to
Oh, like when you consciously control one thing, you can consciously control it. But like if it's a reflex, like if I like surprise myself, I'll blink both eyes. That's one. That's a reflex. The reflex is controlled by a nerve that goes to both eyes. A neuron branches and axon goes to the muscle. Why can't you wink your right eye?
Yeah.
More practice to do it. Nice to it. Yeah.
Like when you can control your eyes, they usually just like follow each other, but if you like purposefully only move your eyes, like what is
So what is different when you're only doing one eye? It's just, again, like really high control. Some people are better at controlling muscles than others. So like I can't do that, but some people can. Right. Yeah, it's not common, but for some people it's possible. We'll get to movement of eyes. We'll get to like some facial expression. Yeah. Any other questions on these four muscles? Remember, the frontalis, occipitalis, they are connected by the epicranial aponeurosis. It's the tendon that connects muscle to muscle. Epicranial aponeurosis. Epicranial means on top of the head. All right, moving around the mouth. I'll skip to this one first. This was Orbicularis Oculi, around the eye. Around the mouth is Orbicularis oris. Like oral is mouth, oris is mouth. Orbicularis oris. So if you want to close your mouth, if you want to pucker, that's Orbicularis oris. Weird. Okay. Close enough. Okay, so here's Orbicularis oculi, here's Orbicularis oris. This muscle that connects from the top of the lip, its origin is up here by the eye. Its insertion is down here by the lip. I said the insertion is by the lip, so it's going to be pulled up or pulled down? Up. It's going to get pulled up superiorly. So it's lifting. What it's going to do, it's going to lift the upper lip. It's going to lift. Watch YouTube, I do all the expressions. It's going to lift the upper lip. The term for lifting is levator. Like elevate. Levator. What's the term for lip? Labii. And the term for upper lip is labii superioris. So this is the levator labii superioris. Raises the upper lip. Levator labii superioris. So that's this one right here. Going below the mouth, we've got, which one? Okay, so there's a bunch of muscles down here. Starting in the middle of the lip and then going diagonally, a tiny bit diagonally, this one, it's like the opposite of this one. This was levator labii superioris. This is lowering the lower lip. What's lowering? If raising is levator, what's lowering? Depressor. This is depressor labii inferioris. Starts medial, comes down a little bit lateral. Depressor labii inferioris, lower your lower lip. There's another one right here that starts at the corner of your lip and goes at an angle in. That's depressor anguli oris. So coming down here at an angle, depressor anguli oris. It's opening your mouth at an angle. You can open your mouth and slide it laterally. Yeah.
Frowning.
For frowning, you probably, definitely depressor anguli. Maybe a little bit of depressor labii inferioris, definitely anguli. So again, depressor labii inferioris, right here, lowering the lower lip. Depressor anguli oris brings the corner of your lip diagonally. Down. A few more muscles found on the face that I want you to know. Buccinator. Remember I said buccinator means trumpet player? The buccinator is found starting at this corner of the lip, and then the broad muscle just going across your cheek. So corner of the mouth, broad muscle, kind of going up a little bit, diagonally up. So not this one. This is a different muscle. This one here. That's the buccinator. Helps you blow a trumpet. Helps you blow, suck through a straw. Buccinator. The muscle at the very base of the chin, that's the mentalis. Remember the chin region is called the mental region? Mentalis. If you protrude your lip and pout, like contract this muscle here. Orbicularis oris, mentalis, depressor labii inferioris, depressor anguli oris. So from medial to lateral, mentalis, depressor labii inferioris, depressor anguli oris. These three muscles are for pulling your lip laterally in some way. Risorius is perfectly laterally. So like doing like a fake smile, pulling your lips out that way, that is the risorius. How do you say smile in Spanish? So it's got to be RIS right there. RIS. Yeah, close enough. So think of like a smile, but like a fake smile. Think of like a Joker smile. Just straight across laterally. So on this model, corner of the lip. Remember, here's the buccinator, the broad flat one here. It's this one, right here. So you want to bring your lips laterally out. That's risorius. So the risorius can be used in smiling, but it's not the major muscle of smiling. If you want to smile, which way should you pull your lip? Not just laterally, but also up. So which one of these would do that? We went over this. This is levator labii superioris. You want these two, right? These two, these are the, what bone do they attach to over here? The zygomatic bone. So these are the zygomaticus bone, or muscles. Zygomaticus muscles. The one on top is smaller, it's the minor. The one on bottom, inferior, is major, it's bigger. Zygomaticus minor, zygomaticus major. Usually, whenever they come in a pair like that, minor and major, major's on bottom. Makes more sense, it's carrying more weight, got to pull more. Zygomaticus major, minor, pull the corners up superiorly, laterally. Those are their major silent muscles. If you want to lower your jaw or have that surprise look like we saw in that first image, there's this large flat muscle that connects from the mandible all the way down to the sternum. That's muscle right here. It's called a platysma. Where have you seen that root before? Platy. What? A platypus, yeah. And what's special about a platypus? They have a beak. They have a flat beak, a flat white beak. The marsupials have flat white beaks. That's why they call platypus. The flat white beak, platy means flat and white. So this is a flat white muscle. Platysma. Platysma. Shown right here. Platysma. None of our models show the platysma, so I can really only show you that it's inserting or originating in the mandible. Questions? All right, for chewing, mastication, there are 4 major muscles of chewing. 4 major muscles. 3 of them, the masseter, temporalis, and medial pterygoid, these 3 are for closing your mouth. So elevating your jaw, your temporomandibular joint. The lateral pterygoid is for opening. So lateral pterygoid and platysma can open your jaw. Masseter, temporalis, medial is for closing. These 2 muscles also do 2 different things. The medial pterygoid also protrudes the jaw. All right, let me show you on the model and how they work. All right, the largest muscle is this one on the side of your head, named after the bone that is around the temporal bone, so this is temporalis. If you chew, you can feel it move. Not going to chew too much or affect you. Temporalis, your largest muscle, therefore strongest. This muscle that connects from your zygomatic bone down to your mandible, this one right here, that's the masseter. Masseter. Right here. The other 2 are a little bit deeper. So the masseter would be right here, but we're looking underneath, deep to the mandible. Well, you can see this. Can anyone tell me what bone is over here? Any guesses? Not the ethmoid. Well, can you see this? The sphenoid. So I can't put the lighting right on this. So over here is the sphenoid bone. There are 2 protrusions. There are 2 protrusions, like coming off the sphenoid. Like here's your selaturcica, here's your lesser wing, here's your greater wing, and then there are these 2 protrusions that came down this way. One of these is a medial pterygoid process. The other is the lateral pterygoid process. The PT, you only pronounce the T. Pterodactyl, Ptolemy, pterygoid process. a medial and a lateral. These little extensions on the sphenoid, that's where these muscles are attached. They're attaching deep here to the pterygoid and then to the mandible. So they're originating on the sphenoid, inserting on the mandible. So you can move your jaw different ways. The more medial one, that's medial pterygoid, it's a bit more inferior. Wish I could get the lighting right. Yeah, okay. Okay, so this is the medial pterygoid. This is the lateral pterygoid. This is from an inferior view. Okay, laterally, medial pterygoid is more superior. Lateral pterygoid is more inferior. It's the lateral pterygoid that opens the jaw. So lateral does the opposite of medial. What do we call those? Two muscles do opposite things? Antagonists.
Can you say that again?
So, Temporalis, Masseter, teacher over here. The one that's more superior is medial pterygoid, or inferior is lateral. Wait, did I mess it up? Yeah, I messed it up. I'm so sorry. Go by where it's attached. So you can see that this is attached more medially. The medial one is inferior. Yes, great. The medial one is inferior. This is the medial pterygoid. This one attaches more laterally. It's more superior. That's a lateral pterygoid. Lateral pterygoid on top, medial pterygoid lower down. Lateral is for opening your jaw. Medial is for closing and protruding. Yeah, take a second. Raise.
I would say.
Raise your hand a few more times.
Because what I think to wrinkle the eyes. So,
Okay, let's see what you think. Three. 1, 2, 3.
yeah, like because here, right?
Take a moment. Talk to your neighbors. Go ahead. Take a minute.
I don't know.
You say what? So you're saying that C, you're saying the frontalis lowers the eyebrows. The injection is into a muscle that normally lowers the eyebrows. Which muscle normally lowers the eyebrows? Okay. One more time, please. Hands on 3. 1, 2, 3. On 3, say the letter. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So we're paralyzing a muscle that normally lowers the eyebrows. Which muscle raises the eyebrows? The talus raises the eyebrows. So which one is opposing it? Corrugators. Corrugators, let me go back. The corrugator would do the opposite. Like, by raising your eyebrow, the frontalis raises the eyebrows, corrugators is going to bring it back. Yeah, so D. Second question. Raise your hand a few more times. 3, 2, 3. Bring the letter 1, 2, 3. B. Your temporalis. Your temporalis is your largest muscle for chewing. This is where you feel pain if you flash. Temporal fossa, temporalis. Mandibular angle will be over here. Mandibular condyle is over here. Schema is pretty good. There's a lot of different muscles for chewing and swallowing. Sorry, not chewing, for swallowing and tongue movement. You can see here's our hyoid. The hyoid is connected to a bunch of different muscles that connect to the tongue or connect to other parts of the neck region. I'm not going to test you on the individual muscles found here. What I do want you to know is that these muscles are either connected to the hyoid and or the thyroid cartilage. The thyroid cartilage is part of the larynx. You can see hopefully in that picture, you can see it on this model here. Here's the hyoid, here's the thyroid cartilage, and there's a bunch of muscles in that region. I have one more somewhere. This is a model of the larynx. So a model of the larynx, you can see the hyoid here. Here's the thyroid cartilage, and there's muscles all around it attached. To move your tongue, you need some bone that it needs to attach to. That's the hyoid. If you want to swallow or do other things with your neck, it needs to attach to the hyoid or thyroid cartilage. So, yeah, muscles for swallowing, for tongue movement. I at least want you to know that they're attached to the hyoid and or thyroid cartilage. You can see some muscles here. This is the underside, like this muscle at the floor of the mouth. These are needed for swallowing and tongue. Okay, here's what I want to do right now. We'll probably talk more about different muscles. Let's have this out. Oh, if you want to see me dance? Subscribe to the YouTube channel. It's on there. In the shoe. Yeah, I did that one. The other class, I did hula, and there's one more I did. There's another one. I did hula and blanket. Oh yeah, I did the stanky leg. That's right. I did the stanky leg again. So yeah, if you haven't checked out the YouTube channel, this might be a good time to do it. Not right now. Don't do it right now. You need to focus.
I think it's enough.
So this is our seventh check.
Not going? Is everyone actually here? Does anyone get a packet? So you are? Everyone else get a packet? Okay. We did our speed dating for the skeletal system, but you want to try out a new dating app, and this one's called Muscle. So it's a very similar idea, but just a slight difference you'll see at the end. So you're all going to be assigned a muscle. We may or may not get through all these notes, but all the notes are here. You all got those notes, and it's all online, so you can find all the information. The important information that I want you to know, that I want you to prepare for Wednesday, if you turn the page. Obviously, your muscle name, muscle shape, there's only 3 to choose from. It's parallel, pennant, or circular. I don't care about, you can list the subcategory, but I at least want you to list the main category. So for under shape, all you're putting is parallel, circular, or pennant. One of those 3. For movements, what kind of movement do you cause? You probably cause more than one. For many of your muscles, you can cause more than one. You cause flexion, extension, abduction, adduction, elevation, depression. What movement do you cause? There could be more than one. What is the region that it's found in? It's in the brachial region, coxal, gluteal, whatever. And then list the origin and insertion. If you need help figuring out the origin and insertion, it's in your lab book and your textbook. It's all there. It's all listed. So you need to know those things by heart for Wednesday, because that's what you're going to be telling your speed dating partners. I haven't assigned one yet, no. So I'm going to do that now. Let's do that now. Victoria. 37. 36. Later on. 31. What were you doing? 28. Corey. We'll come before 28. 27. You what? Go down, yeah, go down. Okay, roll out your muscles. We'll go over these first ones up here, I guess, later. Let me give you 15 minutes. So at 1:50, we'll regroup. 15 minutes to look over your muscle. You have your packets, you have your lab books, or at least you actually have a computer. So if you need that, let me know. I have resources over here as well. If you need books or anything to look your muscle up. I'll give you a little bit of time to fill this out. But you should come prepared and know enough about your muscle. And draw 2 angles of your muscle. Maybe an anterior view, maybe an inferior view, superior view, lateral view, whatever. Draw 2 pictures of your muscle. Preferably attached to the bone. Show the attachments and label the attachments. Label your attachments.
What about where it's like plus this?
Yeah.
Yeah, for muscles like 30, you're doing 3 there. They're grouped together because they work together. They're all muscles that flex. Quadriceps are all muscles that extend the knee. All muscles that extend it. There's 3. 1, 2, 3. This is a really long name. Yeah. If you need help finding it, I'm happy to show you on these models. You need help finding your muscle. Come see me. Yeah, let's go to the back here. If you want to find your muscle back here, I can show you where it is. Okay, so central gently. What does it say? Extend. Which way is extend? This way. Yeah. So to me, these muscles. Which one's the one? Extensor carpal maris is right here. Extensor carpal maris. See, these are the digits. See how these come here. Extensor digit 1. And then extensor carpi radialis longus. Not this. Here. That's his middle. Extensor digit 1. Extensor carpi maris. Extensor carpi radialis. So look at the attachments. How many show the attachments? Okay. So this is a hamstring. So 3 muscles. The most lateral, that's biceps femoris. This one is more medial. This is semi-pinosis. And this one is longer. This other one is underneath it. So there's a muscle here, and then another muscle underneath it. So underneath, and then this is semi-pinosis. And then this is semi-pinosis. And then this is out. Deeper and wider.
I'm doing that.
That's this muscle. It's like your major muscles. Yeah, it's kind of hiding under this too. So this is great, right? So this tensor fascia connects to this major tendon here. So does gluteus maximus. You share a tendon. So these 2 converge. This is your IP band. It connects from the ilium down to the feet. All the way. Iliopsoas.
Yeah.
Gastroc.
What's
Gastroc.
that's a go.
Gastroc. It's the major muscle.
Parallel. Linear. And
Where's the-
airplane plant. What is it called?
And it's wider and flat, so it goes all the way to this
Yeah.
here. And
Is it? No, it's either P.
But the tendon is this, and it shares the tendon, so. You know, like, it goes right up to
So that's body. Like that?
So,
How it all goes.
you can throw them together. Here's the axis, sorry, here's the ligator, here's the axis. You kind of do this, yeah. I mean, those are separate things, but they're drawings.
Are they in the?
Wide range. I think it's for strength.
It is.
So, posterior review.
Are you? Geez, what? Did you get last time? What did you, what was your thing? Compact.
The meat Remember in your drawings, show your attachments and label them. In your drawings, show your attachments and label them. So it would help to draw like a rough sketch of a bone. Like what bone feature is it attached to? Parallel, tendon, or Let's see. You can see how the tendon here is kind of in the middle. Parallel tendon. Straight members, they're really straight back into the back side. Tendon goes.
Yeah.
Tendon muscles, the fascials are shorter to generate more power. Biceps.
So it opens up in here.
Yes.
Opening.
more in muscle.
Extensive. Yeah. Yeah.
You can see it. Okay. So here is, there's really important muscles to get here. Here's the video. So this is the outside here. This muscle, you can see it's penetrating the digits. So that's extensive.
Yeah.
Yeah, so one, extensive digit. And then this one is 50. It's gonna be like a houses, big sensor houses. Yeah, extending those legs. Feel free to ask me questions. Come up here.
I just asked my mind. Go ahead. We'll just tell you.
That's what it was. To the clavicle and
Go ask him. So this is what I have with how much to do.
the same thing.
I said mine.
Because I asked him so about that, like drawing separator. Or you can do it.
How many of your
Is there a number of things?
They're short.
in what?
There's this.
Yeah.
There's like there's
Actually, Carly, yeah, depends.
this whole thing is one, but it's breaking down.
Okay. If you're assigned a muscle group, like so there's more than one muscle, you can draw them all together. Because I group them together because they work together. So put them all together. It's like you want to check anything? Like I know shape is going to be the hardest to find. Come check with me. I'll be right there. Yes.
But it's because that's all they know. Just draw out just one.
Right, right, you have to go too.
Probably five. In terms of action, this is sort of it's not. It's inclusive group. There are four muscles in the group. That's the Intercostals. That gastroc. It's for what's this? It's not just flexion, special time. Yeah. Not with that. Yeah. I think it's also for legal inversion. It's listed in the Okay, fine. I got spider question. They can take 8, 9. Yeah, so, yeah, the bones and the capsules. And so what were you? It was great for right here, you.
Yeah.
Medium, big medium.
Is there a lot of those too?
Yeah. Yeah, so like. Here's the sartorius. Yeah. That's okay. Let's take like a couple more minutes. If you're unsure about anything, feel free to ask. Shape is usually the trickiest one. It's harder to find, but in the worksheets and incursions are listed in your textbook. The motions that they do, it's listed in the notes. If you're unsure of the shape, come ask me or something. Yeah.
So since on the visualization that it's attached to the
Which specific?
other floor.
That's a rib.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
not attached to the rib. It's listed. It should be listed in here. There should be a whole like what do you call it?
Because they look at that.
It should be listed in the lab book.
Yeah.
Listed in the lab book. It's a whole table for it. The other side. So. Hey everyone, if you have the lab book, if you go to page, starting on page 188, that's where it tells you all the basic information like origin, insertion, and action. It's all listed there.
What's my do? What's my do?
No.
It's the
Yeah, yeah.
extensor digitorum mollis.
Yeah, listen.
It's on the.
188. 188.
You're explaining
Whatever this
why
one.
extensor
Extensor digitorum Take a picture of that one. Would you put that like one way years?
Yeah, so you got the bone here. Yeah. Sorry?
I know, but it's right. Why circle my
I was trying to do that, someone stole my erase.
For the body reading, you
Just like went over the body regions in the class, just the regions, the abdominal,
No.
like it's a whole big thing.
it's the reading.
Yours is.
Since the back body.
So extension would be
This makes sense. Look at the book. Let's go. Any other questions? Any other questions that you can't easily find in the lab? All right. We're going to continue. Just a reminder. For Wednesday. For Wednesday, what I'm looking for, your pictures should show your muscle attached to the specific parts of the bone that shall point out the origin insertion. Name the bone. Name the muscle or muscles. Under muscle name, just the name that you've been given. Shape, it's either parallel, pennant, or circular. Movement, it's likely more than one. Flexion, extension, adduction, abduction, whatever. Location, just choose, like, is it the coxal region, is it the femoral region, anterior femoral, posterior femoral, patellar, whatever. Just the region. Origin insertion, that's all listed in your lab book. So double check your lab book. There's a nice table there on page 188. In your about me section, you're explaining that. So what's the etymology of your name? Why are you called the Sartorius? Why are you called the extensor digitorum longus? What is the meaning of each part of your name? There's a reason for it. Same in muscle shape. If you're parallel, what's the significance? If you're pennant, what's the significance? Think about that in conjunction with your location and the type of movement you cause. At the very least, have this first page complete for Wednesday, but you'll be needing to complete the rest of this by next week. So if you can get a head start on the rest, that'd be great.
We're gonna do the same thing last time.
Same thing as last time. We're doing that on Wednesday, so that's why you need to come prepared for Wednesday. I tell you disappointed or excited? I'm going to continue with the notes. So we're on slide 10. On slide 10. Yeah.
You know what? That's what I'm starting to say. Yeah, I was hungry. You know this. See you guys in April.
So let's go over some of these muscles. What are we looking for here? Here's a sternocleidomastoid. It's named after what it's attached to. It's attached to the sternum, the clavicle, process of the temporal bone. So it's a large muscle on the lateral part of your neck. It allows you to flex. What joint is this? Flexing. What am I flexing?
That's the atlanto-occipital.
Atlanto-occipital is more for the head nodding. So I guess it could include atlanto-occipital. And that's actually for that rotation for atlanto-occipital. That would be the atlanto. No, sorry. Atlanto-occipital would be for nodding yes. Atlanto-axial would be for nodding no. So those would be included. Yeah, they would. How about these muscles, these joints here? More inferior. Region. Cervical Z joints. Also the cervical Z joints. So the sternocleidomastoid acts on the atlanto-occipital joint, atlanto-axial joint, and cervical Z joints. Flexion, lateral flexion, and rotation. So if you're strong, it's kind of like poking out right here. You can see a little bit of it. Named after its shape. This is for extension. So sternocleidomastoid is for flexion at the neck. Trapezius is for extension. So they are antagonists. They also help you elevate your scapula. You can see how the trapezius is attached. They also help you elevate your scapula. You can see how the trapezius is attached to the spine, right here. Trapezius is attached to the spine, so if you want to do shoulder shrugs, that's your trapezius. Muscles of breathing. The major muscle of breathing, again, is the diaphragm. And the diaphragm, here's a inferior view, so if you cut my body in half and then look underneath, you'd see this. So here's the sternum, here's the vertebrae. The tendon is all in the middle here, and here's all of the muscle. That's the diaphragm. At rest, I don't have it here. Maybe I do. At rest, the diaphragm is curved. So at rest, the diaphragm is shaped like this. When it contracts, it flattens out. And when it flattens out, what happens to the volume of the thoracic cavity?
Bigger.
It gets bigger. When you make a space bigger, when you make a volume bigger, that decreases pressure. There's lower pressure in your thoracic cavity. There's higher pressure relatively to the atmosphere. Air wants to flow from high to low pressure. So air will flow in. When you contract your diaphragm, air flows in. You're inhaling. When you relax your diaphragm, air pushes out. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. That's just for normal, quiet breathing. So what hopefully all of you are doing right now, normal, quiet breathing, you're using your diaphragm. It contracts and then relaxes. Contracts, relaxes. But of course, we can use more muscles to breathe. Like if we exercise, if we get our heart rate up, we need to breathe harder. So there are other muscles that we can use to breathe for heavy breathing. So in addition to the diaphragm, other muscles we can use to breathe in. There are muscles that are found on the external portion in between the ribs. External intercostals. External intercostals. Intercostals between the ribs, and they are layered on the outside. You'll see that there are ones that are deeper. But the external ones are for breathing in. Sternocleidomastoids, they also help you bring your thoracic cage up. So they also help you breathe in. So there are scalenes also, but I'm not going to test you on the scalenes. Sternocleidomastoids, external intercostals, diaphragm, breathing in. You're going to breathe out forcefully. It's the internal intercostals. So they're deeper to the external. And your abdominal muscles. You've got several abdominal muscles. We'll get to them later. You ever laughed too hard? It hurts to breathe. Breathing out too hard. Okay. What are the different abdominal muscles? There's a lot. First, there's 4 different abdominal muscles, and they're all connected. They're all connected by tendon, by special tendon. Remember the tendon that we said connects muscle to muscle? What's that called? An aponeurosis. We have an epicranial aponeurosis on the top of our head. We have an abdominal aponeurosis on the surface of our abdominal area. Abdominal aponeurosis. So it's shown not cut away right here, and then it's cut. So we can see the different layers. So you can see the aponeurosis and all these different parts of it, connecting all the different abdominal muscles. There's a line right in the middle. So you can see here's one muscle, here's another, here's another, here's the fourth. 4 different muscles all converge in the middle here. It's the line in the middle of the 6-pack. That's called the linea alba, literally white line. Linea alba. It fuses the aponeurosis together.
You have a tendon above your muscles, right? So how do you get that the 6-pack line?
How do you get the 6-pack line? I mean, everyone has it. It's just whether your muscles are more defined.
Like, how is it shown if there's a tendon right there? Would it be smooth?
How is a line shown? Or if your muscles are bulging out, there's going to be a crease here. So you have a deep crease in the middle because you've got muscles bulging out on either side.
So there's muscles above the tendon.
There's an aponeurosis on top of the muscle, but since these muscles are so strong, they're bulging out.
Oh, okay.
They're bulging out. They're pushing through. I mean, not through it, but they're pushing it out. Okay, so aponeurosis, that's the specialized tendon that's holding it all together. Linea alba, that's a fusion of that on either side. All right, what are the 4 muscles? The one that you think of, the 6-pack muscle, that's the rectus abdominis. Rectus means straight, abdominis is in the middle. So you can see on either side, we've got the rectus abdominis. All together, all these from here. You have 3 different oblique muscles. The one that's most superficial is the external oblique. You can see it's kind of pointing down and in towards the pubic area. External oblique points inferomedially. That's down and in. Inferomedially. External oblique. Internal oblique is 1 deep to that. So if you peel away the external, you get to the internal. Internal oblique is this way. External oblique points down and in. Internal oblique points up and in. And then the 3rd layer in, so there's a 3rd layer to go even deeper than the internal oblique. That's the transverse abdominis. It's going horizontal. External, internal, transverse. Is the rectus abdominis on top of all 3? Not exactly. Rectus abdominis is the most medial of all of them. So it's here. Rectus abdominis. The obliques are all out here. You can see that there might be some overlap, but not much. It goes external, internal, transverse abdominis. So they're really on the sides, the obliques. So when we say obliques, we're talking about these 3. External, internal, transverse. What all of them have in common is that they're for flexing your lumbar Z joints. Like doing a sit-up. Flexing the lumbar Z joints. Your obliques also help with rotation and lateral flexion. So rotation, lateral flexion at the Z joints also. That's what your obliques are also useful for. When we look at the cadaver, we can see the different layers, and you can see the direction of the fascicles. So remember, external, internal, transverse. Transverse is the deepest. Okay. If you have muscles that flex the lumbar vertebrae, you need muscles that extend them. You need antagonists, and that's found on the back. You'll notice that antagonists are usually found on the opposite side of something. So if we've got flexors on the anterior side, we've got extensors on the anterior side. There's a group of muscles that your textbook categorizes even more specifically. Altogether, they're known as the erector spinae. They're muscles that erect the spine. Erector spinae group. That's as deep as I'm going to go. I'm not going to go over the specific names of these erector spinae muscles. So we're just going to collectively call them the erector spinae group. Here's that trapezius. If you peel the trapezius away, and actually if you peel some more muscles away, you can see that these are parallel muscles that go all the way up and down the spine. So if you see long parallel muscles that go up and down the spine, those are erector spinae muscles. So because they're attached to the vertebrae on the posterior side, help you straighten out your spine, erect or extend vertebrae. They can also help with lateral flexion. A couple other muscles that are also useful with either flexion or extension. Latissimus dorsi, it's this really broad muscle. You can see it's hiding a little bit under the trapezius, goes down here, and then connects up to the arm, to the humerus. This wide, flat muscle. This literally means large, wide muscle of the back. Latissimus dorsi. Like think of a latitude, it's wide. Latissimus dorsi, wide muscle of the back. That helps with extension. Helps you extend your back as well. So it works along with your erector spinae group. When you work your abdominals, like say you do leg lifts, you're working your lower abs, but you're also working these other muscles. So these other muscles, collectively called the iliopsoas, PS is a psoas, you don't pronounce a P. The Iliopsoas Group is important for flexing your vertebral column. You can't really see it unless you scoop out your intestines. Yeah. Okay, so here, attaching to the vertebrae up here, down this way to the femur. This is called the psoas major. Psoas major. And then sitting inside of the iliac fossa, so it's attached along the iliac crest and sitting in the iliac fossa, that's called the iliacus. So together, iliacus, psoas major make up the iliopsoas. Therefore helping you flex your lower vertebrae and the core. Oh, here's a better view of that. Psoas major, you can see it's attached to the lumbar vertebrae and down to the, anyone know what this is? This little protrusion of the femur? The lesser trochanter. And then here's the iliacus along the iliac crest attaching down to the femur. Take a minute, real quick. Let's see what you think before we go. Let's see what you think. Real quick, let's see your hands. 1, 2, 3. Freeze and letter. 1, 2, 3. Hey. Yeah, when you're sniffing in, you're inhaling. External is for inhaling. Oh. All right, thanks everyone. I will talk to you all later. Email me if you have any questions. See you individually if you have any questions. Okay. There. Bye.
Bye, Victoria.
Okay. Uh-oh. The thing is, nobody washed their hands down.